Hi, this is Steve with Rent It Network, and today I want to talk to you just a little bit about renting versus selling, and just a few tips and things to consider if you're in a situation where you have to make a decision on whether or not to try to sell your home or to try to rent it out. And the first real question that you have to ask yourself is, can you afford to sell? And what I mean by that is we're in a market where property values have come down over the last several years, and while they are definitely starting to improve, there are still a lot of owners out there who are in a situation where they owe on the home, more on the home than what it's worth. And in a situation like that, you have to ask yourself, if I sell this, am I willing to come to the closing table with money to pay off my mortgage? The other option, of course, is you could consider perhaps a short sale. And we'll talk about short sales at another time, but in general, that's where you try to work something out where you sell the home. The lender accepts less than what you owe on the mortgage to allow the sale to go through. But there's a lot of considerations when it comes to short sales. It can affect your credit potentially. The lender may look to you and say, I want you to pay the additional money that you owe on the mortgage. And you just have to really think those things through carefully as it relates to your particular situation. The next thing to consider is, what are your long-term goals? Is this a property? Was it your home that you're looking to sell because you're relocating out of the area? Do you plan on coming back? Was it an investment property? You have to really consider, what your longer term goals are. If it's a home that you like, if it's an area that you think you may come back to, if it's an investment that you have, looking at it from a longer term perspective, renting can be a great option for you to keep the property and generate cash flow, at the same time. Ideally, if you're trying to make the decision between selling versus renting your property out, you want to look at the money, and you should talk to somebody who can show you what comparable properties like yours are renting for. You should find out what the cost of ownership is, look at what you might have to consider in terms of maintenance and repairs, and all of those things add up. But at the same time, while you're renting out, there's the potential for tax advantages too. So you want to look at the big picture in terms of the benefits to renting versus selling the property. I will tell you that in my opinion, over the long term, real estate historically has been a good investment. And in this market, we know it's improving, and over time we would expect that to get better. So plan carefully.